Welcome to Sailing KYAN 2. Join us as we explore the beautiful Chesapeake Bay in our newly refitted Morgan Out Island Ketch, and watch as we're preparing the final touches for our 2021 snowbird journey from Baltimore, Maryland to sunny tropical destinations.
Welcome aboard as we sail to the eastern shore.
And here we are on Friday. Happy Friday. Leaving the fuel dock. I guess we better throw some radar on. So we're testing this out for voice and wind, see how good this camera is. Interesting buoys out here. Normally when we see crab pots, we see crab pots that look a lot smaller, but these are numbered buoys, so I don't know if it's just crab pot fishing or if it's somebody couldn't afford a crab pot, so they bought some cheap fenders at Walmart like I do. But either way, our bimini's holding up really well. It's not warm. It's about 60, feels like 65 or less. And about a 1 to 2 foot chop. We're motor sailing right now. We've got a mizzen up, and we've got a very small stay jib going on right now, which I can't get to. Let's see. Yeah, we just got a really tiny little stay jib. The winds are blowing funky. I think we've got some tide going on, and maybe a little tide pull, but we've had some interesting wind. We're going to take down the front panel of the bimini just because it isn't the clearest view in the world, and when you've got crab pots and obstructions, then it doesn't help to block the view. So Sandra's taking it down right now. We'll put it up later on tonight. We'll also maybe put a couple of the rear ones on tonight, although I'm expecting some rain sometime after 7 o'clock. Normal KYAN luck is whenever we want to go somewhere, the wind is always on our nose. Never fails. And we're heading towards Kent Narrows. Wind's blown up a little bit. I had to throw some extra RPMs on, but we're pulling 5.5 knots, 5 to 5.5, and I don't think you can see much in the radar there. Over there, yonder, you'll see the Bay Bridge. Beyond that is Annapolis, and directly on our starboard is the Kent Narrows. So here we are in the middle of Chesapeake Bay, doing a staggering half a knot. We thought we'd go down to Chester River, to Corsica, and yes, Sandra is fishing. So we have a little fishing rod going on here. How many feet you got out? A lot. Okay, we have a lot out. And what are we fishing for? Okay. We have a big lure, which I was told is good for rockfish or striped bass, which I guess is the same thing. And since we know absolutely nothing about fishing, this is actually going to be funny because we know we have a bucket and a pair of pliers, and we're just hoping to God we don't catch anything, because then we have to panic to figure out how to get it off the hook. Start to calm down now as we get closer to the Narrows. It looks like it's clearing over there, which is going to be good. Maybe we won't get that rain. Got another one coming at you. Days like this, it's good to have radar. Appears to be 3 boats being towed in a row. It is. Well, as we're getting closer to the Narrows, things are starting to calm down a little bit. Waves have settled down to 2 feet. Okay, got them on your bow. Now start your left turn.
Toast is always in order after a successful day on the water. Our journey from Baltimore took us 7.5 hours. We traveled 37 nautical miles and burned about 6 gallons in diesel fuel. Not bad for a sailboat. We went up the Chester River and anchored in Corsica River. We anchored on the south side of the river to protect us from wind, and the sunset was beautiful. What's a little rain once in a while when you're used to having good sunshine? That's okay. It'll get sunny.
Alright. just open that a bit. Watch your fingers. So far, we're holding. This was not in the forecast. It's supposed to be sunny for the next 3 days.
There's always a reason to smile when it stops raining and the coffee's hot and fresh.
There's the chef. Made us a nice hot breakfast for a nice cool Sunday morning. And we even have anchor napkins courtesy of Pat.
Here's Shane trying to fish,
Trying is right. Not being very good at it.
but he's not having very much luck. What's that floating in the water?
Floaty.
Hunk of shit.
How much?
77.
77.
It's actually cooler down there than it is up here.
Wow. Did you turn the air conditioning on? Finally, we have some sun. Only took us 3 days. Time to get sailing. I see cobwebs. So when we're not running the diesel engine and we're at anchor for a few days, we like to leave the generator on. It charges up the batteries, gives us some hot water. Only costs a couple of pennies an hour to run it. And in places like this, it's not too noisy during the day. Hello. Sundown. Look at all the boats behind you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you got a text. Guess we better put our anchor light on. There it is. All's well. And this looks like the party central tonight. Two trawlers, 1, 2, 3, 5 sailboats. All guys. That can't end quietly.
4 sailboats.
1, 2,
trawlers.
3, 4. Oh, is there a Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Again.
You're right.
Cheers.
I just like to tell her that. Cheers, honey. Here, let's... Selfie stick. Grand Marnier. Cool. Well, here we are on Sunday. What's the date today? 27th? 28th? 27th. That's pretty good when we can't remember. Sometimes we have CRS. Can't remember shit. So, taking a quick walk up to the bow, we decided to change our anchorage tonight just to get a better view. And also tonight the winds are going to be coming out of the south, and these little bluffs might just give us a little extra protection from the south wind. So right now we are kind of facing north, and if you look over there, the sun is setting, so that's west. We're north, we reset our anchor in a south configuration, but between the tide and the existing wind, it spun us around, and you can see from our anchor snubber that we're in straight up. And so you can see we have a couple of ropes on our anchor chain, which allows the chain to go free and pulls up the rope hanging onto the chain, allowing the rope to act as a bit of a stretchy bungee cord, if you will. So we have a backup one and the main one being the white one and the backup being the black one. A little bit of mud. We'll wash that off with a spray a little later on. So in the morning, we're expecting 5 to 10 knots with gusting to 20, and we will at that point undo our neighbor protectors. These little lines that we have keep the halyards from slapping and waking us up all night. Also good for our next door neighbors so they don't get too pissed at us. Sandra's bimini's looking good. And back here in the aft section of the aft 41 feet, we have a little bit of wires and stuff to clean up. We ran the generator earlier because we hadn't run it in months. And we've got chicken barbecue right now with potato cooking. And then we're going to be cooking, chicken and mushrooms? Chicken and potato. Oh, both of those are chicken. Okay. Alrighty. She's a little slow, but she'll get it. Okay. Distance alarm, 37 feet off our anchor point. And we are in 10 feet of water. And you can see our track all the way from when we started our trip. So we started our trip in Baltimore. We got outside the Key Bridge, and you can see, follow the pink lines, dot, 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 all the way down to Kent Narrows, all the way back up and into Corsica Bay. And we anchored over here for a while, and then we switched back here. Monday morning, 7:15, September 28th. It's a beautiful southeast sunrise, and couldn't be any nicer this morning. 66 degrees, a little bit of a light mist coming. There's some cloud coming towards us for about 8 o'clock. We'll probably get 15-20 minutes of showers, and then it should be nice and clear. And we'll head on up to Baltimore today. Dirty deck. We got to do some scrubbing this week. Other than that, the overnight rest was good. The fish are still jumping. We got skunked out last night. I guess a skunk had a fight with somebody, and boy did he let one rip. But that smell's now gone, so we're in pretty good shape.
The 3 days we spent in Corsica were beautiful, but it's time to pull up the anchor and head back to our home port.
Where? Follow the track. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's on. Guess we forgot to turn it off.
Well, it's turning out to be a beautiful day now. That little piece of storm just passed us real nice. Over there, we just went through it, and voila, a rainbow. We're just coming out through the Kent Narrows, or coming up to the Kent Narrows. I think we have to proceed down here to our left, and then once we do that, we'll be almost latitude to Annapolis. Here you can see the rest of that system is working its way, should end up becoming behind us. There's still a little bit of precipitation, but I think all things being equal, we should be pretty well done. Sandra's at the helm, doing her job down there. There she is. Okay. Finally, peace and quiet. And there's a guy motor sailing up behind us. At least I think he's motor sailing.
Oh yeah, I can hear it.
You can hear his engine? Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't want to prematurely evacuate the sewage system. Is you get one of these guys that decides to rat you out. And we wouldn't want to do anything illegal.
Probably what he's doing right now.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, they seem like friendly.
Our 4-hour journey home took us under the famous Key Bridge, named after Francis Scott Key, and through the outer harbor, where we pass over 2 underwater tunnels, the I-95 tunnel and the Fort McHenry tunnel, past Fort McHenry and into our sheltered harbor. The key to a successful docking maneuver is in the preparation and planning. This is especially important the larger the vessel happens to be. KYAN has an overall length of 41.5 feet. Her widest point of beam is almost 14 feet. She sits over 5 feet above the waterline and weighs over 27,000 pounds. Since her slip is 50 feet long by 16 feet wide and has full-length docks on port and starboard, terminating with a floating bulkhead, we need to be careful not to come in at an angle too fast or too slow, and make sure we have dock lines prepared to stop her in the event the engine fails. Prior to docking, we consider the wind direction, speed, and tide effect in order to calculate the correct angle of approach, speed, and which side our dock lines will engage first. An incorrect angle of approach or incorrect speed, too slow and the rudder is ineffective, too fast and the risk of collision at the bulkhead increases, and unprepared dock lines can ruin your whole day. Much like my aviation days, I line up the imaginary runway at least 200 feet away from the dock, slow to 2 knot speed, and alternate between running in and out of gear to test the drift for our angle of approach. Our best approach wind is from the north, which seldom happens, and our worst approach wind is from the south, which can be challenging. Today's wind is 10 to 15 knots from the southeast. This means the wind will be pushing us in and towards the port side. For safety's sake, no one is allowed to jump or step off while the boat is in forward motion. Thank you for watching our first episode of Sailing KYAN 2. Please subscribe and join us for our next episode as we sail to Annapolis, encountering thick fog on the journey home.